So an absolute tragedy for the world of football. Diego Maradona, the man who was voted one of the two greatest players of the 20th century along with Pele, the man who scored the goal of the century in the 1986 World Cup, the man who won not only the World Cup in 1986, was a runner-up in 1990, but also achieved amazing things at club football level as well. He has died at the age of 60 after a heart attack. It's an absolutely tragic bit of news. Maradona was someone who came up in football in Argentina, was able to rise to the ranks at Argentinos and then at Boca Juniors, the famous old club of Argentina. Did so well, he was transferred to Barcelona in 1982, shone at the 1982 World Cup, but was unable to achieve success there. In 1986, he captained Argentina to a magnificent win, driving the team along, scoring incredible goals, including the two very, very famous goals against England in the quarterfinal. First, the hand of God goal, which everyone knows about, but also after that, an incredible dribble where he went past 60 yards past several English defenders, leaving them in a heap and scoring an absolutely stunning goal, which, as we said, was voted goal of the century. He was able to also lead them to a runners-up position in 1990 in the World Cup, but that was to prove to be sort of the end point of El Diego's greatness in his career, especially as the drug abuse and substance abuse caught up with him. This is something which dogged him throughout his later years, and of course is one of the reasons why perhaps his health was not the best at this point of time. If we're looking back at his achievements, as we said, not just the achievements as a footballer for Argentina, but some incredible moments in a club shirt as well. He had two injury-plagued seasons at Barcelona, where he was absolutely amazing, including winning a standing ovation from the fans of Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu itself after scoring an incredible goal. He was the first Barcelona player to actually ever get that kind of ovation from the Madrid fans themselves in a Clásico. After that, he went to Napoli, where, of course, he did amazing things, taking a team which had never won the league title, which had never really achieved very much, took them to not only win the league title twice, but even win the UEFA Cup, and all along the way be an absolute legend. And of course, it was during that time that he led Argentina to that incredible victory in the 1986 World Cup. Now, over the years, he tried to dabble his hand in management, wasn't particularly successful. His one stint as Argentina manager saw him lead them to the quarterfinals in the 2010 World Cup, but it was not to be anything more than that. In the years since, again, it was his lifestyle which again made headlines more than the footballing, even though he tried his hand in management again. But regardless of what it was, he was always a player who played with a smile on his face, a man who lived his life to the fullest, a man who had left a great tradition of happiness for millions around the world, whether it was his Argentina fans, whether it was the fans of Napoli, and even people just around the world who loved football, including fans in India who flocked in their thousands, for instance, when he visited in 2008 to inaugurate a stadium. This was a man who football will never really be able to forget, who any sports fan will never really be able to forget, and it's something which he's someone who leaves behind a legacy of greatness at the sport, while also being someone who evidently loved what he was doing on the pitch. And that is something which we can all obviously absolutely aspire to. While, yes, he would not perhaps have been survived in the modern days of football, he is the player who set the prototype for people like Messi, like Ronaldinho, who could mix flair with quality ability, and of course has become such a great symbol for football around the world, for the unifying nature of football around the world, and what an inspiration it can be, whether it was for the people of Napoli who he helped distract from their economic woes and give them a sense of pride, or even Argentina when it was recovering from the devastating Falklands War and the events of the 1980s.